Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. So this is going to be a little bit of a different video from what I usually do on my channel, but I have been project planning since beginning of 2015. So that would be about 3.5, almost 4 years of project planning, and I have learned a lot throughout my years of trying to plan things, trying to do different types of project plans. And I wanted to sort of share my thoughts on how I project plan and how I differ from many other people that are project planning. And I have a lot of different kind of ideas of what project planning is, what it used to be, what it has turned into. So I kind of want to section it into 5 different main areas that I want to cover, but if you have any other questions about my specific type of planning or something like that, you're more than welcome to put your questions down below, and I will do my best to answer. I always answer all of the comments that everybody writes to me, and I'm really grateful for all of them. So the first thing that I wanted to kind of bring up is the fact that I don't actually plan like other people do, because I don't overuse my products. I do not swatch them. I rarely ever swatch them in videos, and I definitely do not swatch them off video. Never. I don't think I have ever swatched anything that you haven't seen on my channel at all, because I think that's a waste of product. I do not reapply my items. Like, I don't reapply lipstick if I don't need to. When I'm working, I'm not even able to reapply. So for the days when I'm working 8-9 hour shift, I would put something on my lips in the beginning of the shift, and I would put something on my lips on my way home to look a little pretty for myself on my way home. And during the days I maybe apply lip balm, or I have to apply lip balm because it's a very dry air where I work, so all of me is just kind of dehydrated after a work day. But other than that, I do not reapply stuff. I don't think I have ever reapplied eyeshadow. I don't use 7 different type of eyeshadows on my face. I kind of use 2, maybe 3 to deepen up a little bit, and a highlighter, maybe like a 4th one. But that's usually how it goes for me. For that reason, I don't use that much product or that many items at a time, and that's why my progress is always a lot slower than other people that kind of play around with makeup. They do a lot of different makeup styles for their videos. They do a lot of different makeup styles in general and play around with their makeup just for fun. I don't have that time. I have time to put on makeup in the morning before work, minimal makeup, just whatever I have time to do, and then I go to work, and then I come home, and who am I gonna put eyeshadow on for at home? So basically that's how eyeshadow process goes for me. And like blush and stuff like that, yes, it has happened that I have reapplied blush if I'm out with my friends or something like that, just to touch up a little bit if I feel like it's fading, or a lipstick if it's fading after dinner. When I'm out with my friends and stuff like that, I definitely reapply to kind of keep everything looking as good as when I left home. But other than that, I do not overuse nor reapply my makeup, and for that reason my progress is a lot more slower than other people's progress. So yeah. And the other thing is, the reason why my project in general, project planning, has been slow, I have learned for myself that I am not the type of person that can do short-term project plans, like finish 7 by spring, or finish something by something, or finish these 5 blah 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 in 3 months. That's not working. I am more of a long-term kind of girl, like throughout this year do this, no buy, and finish this and this and this. Because I use my products so slowly, there will be very little progress to show you people. If you want to see any progress, if I would to update very often and try to use stuff for a very short period of time, there would be some months there is nothing happening because I'm sick, or life happens, or I work full time, or and I don't have time nor the energy to put on makeup or to focus on the specific type of makeup that I have chosen for just my project pan, because I want to play with the other makeup that I have. So the second thing that I want to bring up is that, which also makes it a lot slower for me with my progress, is that I use up, or try to use up, every last little bit of everything that I use. So if it's a lipstick, I dig into it until I hit the plastic part and I can't get any more of it out. If it's a eyeshadow, I want to hit pan and I want to use everything that's in the pan. If it's a blush, same thing there. If it's a foundation, I will cut the thing open. If it's beauty item, I will cut the bottle, whatever it is. If needed to be cut, I will cut it open and I will use it up. That's kind of what I learned in the beginning when I started to watch all the project panners. That's what used to happen. People were using up their products completely. They were sort of, you know, up till the very last little drop. And now I find that so many are just decluttering stuff in the middle of the project pan, and that kind of makes me fall out of love for their projects. A lot of project panners that are my favorite here on YouTube are doing that now, where they declutter in the middle of a project, and I just stopped watching that whole project altogether. Like, the whole series just dies for me when they, in the middle of the project, decide to throw something out. And sometimes it's because they don't like it, sometimes it's expired or whatever, but I would much prefer they don't use it up at all, but they keep it throughout the whole project and then they throw it out in an empties or whatever, or a separate decluttering video, than to actually declutter in the middle of a project pan. Which brings me to my number 3 kind of point, which is I don't declutter. I have done that once. It hurt me a lot mentally, not because I mind getting rid of stuff. I don't mind giving away stuff, but I mean, who would want to have my used makeup? I wouldn't want to have somebody else's used makeup, so it's just not hygienic at all. But also because I spend money on this. At some point in my life I wanted, needed, loved this, so I should be able to use it up and also get my money's worth. And I just feel like it's a complete waste of environment, complete waste of animals if the makeup is not cruelty free. It's a complete waste of product, it's a complete waste of money, it's a complete waste of everything basically, because you throw away something that took water, it took plants, it took animals, it took labor, it took money for you, it took time, effort, everything, and you just throw that away. I would much rather try to use things up and focus on a no-buy than to declutter. With that said, I love decluttering videos. I love watching other people declutter. But for myself, when I try to reason with myself, like, why would I throw this thing away? I just can't for the life of me understand why that would be okay to throw stuff away. And given that nobody likes makeup as much as I do in other people that I know, I wouldn't have anybody to give it to either, so I don't declutter at all. Number 4 is the reason why I'm project panning, and that is to keep focused on specific items, not to actually necessarily finish everything, because most of the items that I have in my collection, although I get bored with them when I overuse them, I still love them. I purchased them at some point when I used to love them, or used to need them, or used to want them. So I pan to kind of focus on an item and try to finish it, not necessarily to actually finish it, because let's face it, what if I have learned anything within my 4 years of panning is that I suck at finishing things. Like, I am really bad at it, but I am quite good at trying to use as much as possible in my collection and kind of rotate around. So my makeup that I want to use up within a year where I put like 100 items. I mean, of course it's not realistic for me to finish all of that, especially with my panning style, but it is so much fun to try to use everything in that list, and just to see that I'm actually using it, so it's not just sitting there collecting dust, because it makes me sad that I purchased something that I really loved and I'm not even looking at it. Like, what is the point then? And the last kind of point that I want to make here is number 5, and that is that I try not to compare myself with other project planners, and I would urge you not to compare yourself with other project planners, because it is very difficult watching people finishing so much and being the person that I am, that has a very slow progress. It's kind of difficult sometimes, but it's also very motivating. It's very fun. I love project planning. I love when people finish their items and I'm like, oh my god, I need to use my stuff a little bit more. But I can't compare myself with other people because I don't have the time. Many of the project planners have YouTube as their full-time job, and they have the time to play with makeup, use makeup every day, go places where they can use makeup. Like my nail polish, for example, I am not allowed to use it at work, which means at least 5 days a week on a work week I'm not allowed to use nail polish. That makes it a little bit more difficult for me to finish it. I'm not allowed to use perfume. I'm not allowed to use scented skincare at my work, which also makes it really difficult for me to use stuff like that up in my regular life. So when I'm on vacation, I love perfume, I love nail polish, it's what makes me happy. So I use it, and I get a lot more progress when I'm free. But when I'm at my work, I can't do that, unfortunately. So for that reason, it's a little bit more tricky for me than many other people. So I try not to compare myself with others. If you appreciate the way I pan and my videos, I'm very grateful to you. If you feel that you can kind of find another person like you in me, that's also awesome. Because if you are the type of person that has a slow progress, you just try to focus on something and it takes you a few years to finish it, then I am completely supportive to you. I am the same way, and I am glad that we found each other. Because in the project planning community, it's really difficult not to compare yourself to other people. Even though it's very motivating, it's a very fun community to be in, and I wouldn't even say that I'm in a community. I'm like on the side bench watching everybody else do awesome, and I'm like, yay, slowly but steady. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that I have my own way of project planning, and I am very content and happy with what I am achieving throughout my project planning. I don't feel the need to purchase stuff. I don't feel the need to necessarily finish everything all the time. But if I am going to use it, I am going to finish it eventually. But it doesn't have to be on a set time limit. It can just be on my own time when I feel like it. And I think that's the best part with project planning, is that there is so much versatility out there. So you can do whatever you want with it. And you can do it for whatever reason you feel like doing it, because everybody's different and everybody has their own reasons for why they want a project plan. So those were my kind of points that I wanted to kind of bring up, because I feel that there are not that many people out there that are similar to my kind of project planning style, or at least none that I have found, that are talking about kind of taking it slow while project planning. Most of them are really like fast and a lot of project plans at once and fast going, and everything is like moving out, and they have so many items finished. And I'm a little bit more of a slow person when it comes to that, and I also want to appreciate the stuff that I have. I don't want to just use it and use it and use it and not even have the time to actually appreciate that I purchased this at some point, and I want to love it while I use it. So that was it for this video. I hope that you liked it. I hope that none of you took any offense to it, because that was not my intention. All I wanted to say is that we are all different, and I just tried to kind of put in my own input on how I feel about project planning. So thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe if you already haven't. I hope to see you in my next one. Bye bye.